there's men out there, they feel the need to humble women because they cannot access to women, men who, don't have experiences with women and, have to subscribe to OnlyFans or have to go to my comments and remind me of how bad I'm going to end up I'm going to end up single with cats, whatever. It's because mainly they don't have access to women. Like in the day-to-day, they don't get dates or like they don't get, like they're not desirable in the dating market. And I don't give a fuck. If you're trying to humble me, I'm just going to do me. And if that bothers you, then just take it.
Do you think people shouldn't be humble?
No, why? No, because like seriously, I think the reason men are trying so hard to humble women is because they cannot have access to them. Wait,
Nick, please pay attention because I'm not looking at the screen. You're like hiding behind your microphone. Can you please scoot it closer to you?
More?
And like, no, scoot the microphone close to
sorry.
you. And you're like, this is what you're doing. Do you see this? You're like, you're hot. Okay, go ahead.
Am I good?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, there's no need to humble women, just level up as a man. Like if you're not desirable in the market, and you don't get dates, it's not a woman's issue. It's your problem.
Well, I think it's a two-pronged issue. So men obviously need to level up in various ways, but like as a woman, and actually we have some of your videos that we're going to react to. If you're delusional and you think you deserve the fucking world just by virtue of being a woman, and you deserve a guy who's 6 feet, makes this much money.
I don't think I deserve it. But
what do you mean?
I will attract it.
Okay, well,
I don't think I deserve it just because I am a woman, but I know what I'm bringing to the table, and I'm expecting the same.
Okay, well, you said you know what you're bringing to the table.
Yeah.
Since you know what it is, what are you bringing to the table?
Well, I'm a good woman.
Okay.
I'm religious, Christian. I don't go out actually, like clubs and stuff.
Okay.
I've went out, when I was younger, like 18, 19. I'm 24 now. I'm over it. I'm a homebody.
Yeah. I
had literally like 2 serious relationships. I've dated, but I've saved myself because I come from a household where, my father always, told me like not to engage with men, sexually and all that stuff.
Oh, so you're a virgin?
No, I'm not a virgin.
Oh,
not at all.
Okay.
But
misheard.
I've been, how do you say celibacy? Celibate. I've been celibate for 3 years, like from when I was 19 to 23, like something like that.
Move her mic just a little bit to the right.
To the right, like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, you said your relationship just ended 2 months ago, but you're in a 2-year relationship?
Yes, I was 22, about to be 23, something like that.
And you
in celibate?
No. Well,
you said
maybe I'm mixing the stuff, but I was celibate for 3 years, and I took that decision. I didn't want to, have no intimacy with anybody.
Even your boyfriend who you broke up with 2 months ago?
Know what I wanted out of a relationship. And I think especially younger women, don't be so quick to jump into like engaging in sexual activity. Why? Because you're not ready yet like that. Like you need to have your moment, I feel. You have to have your moment, right? You have to get to know yourself and what you want in relationships with men. And don't make so many sacrifices. And I think that's why men, especially older men, tend to go to, for younger women, is because they don't know how to say no. They don't have the standards and their boundaries set up yet. So, as especially younger women, just, save yourself. And I'm all about saving myself. And,
older men are attracted to younger women because younger women are more physically attractive. No, it's because they're more pleasant, they're more physically attractive, they have a lower body count, they have less past relationship trauma and baggage, they're more fertile, they're more capable of
they have higher fecundity.
Okay, then you should be okay with the fact that women want provider men and want successful men.
They do. I totally accept that.
Okay.
That's totally fine. I'm just a little curious though. You said you've been celibate for 3 years, but you were just in a 2-year relationship. So were you not
I was younger. Like I started like 18, 19. Like I don't really remember, but I took the decision of like being celibate.
So you were
and
in
not
a
having
2-year.
intimacy.
So you're the 2-year relationship.
I was active, yeah, with my partner.
Bro, this is why you.
No, I think you saying from age 19 to 22 you were celibate for those 3 years.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said you were celibate for the past
So she's saying from 19 to 22 she was celibate for 3 years, and then she got in a 2-year relationship.
Motorsports donated $200. This panel gives credence to the saying, if it floats, fly us or hawks, rent IT. The only person that will win in your future realty and shy-ops are the divorce attorneys. Level up, not with your attitude.
Oh, okay. All right, here, look. Here, I'll just try to articulate why I think it's important. Look, you guys want to keep thinking you're 10s, that's totally fine. I just think, and a lot of women come on the show, and look, you guys are attractive girls, but a lot of women come on the show who are clearly not 10s in physical appearance and think they are 10s in physical appearance. If you're so gassed up by all the guys hitting on you and all the attention you get on dating apps and all your girlfriends, oh my God, you're so fucking slay queen in your Instagram comments, you're going to start being gassed up and thinking you're hot shit when you're not. I'm sure you all know a dude who thinks he's hot shit and you're like, bro, this guy needs some fucking humble pie. He's not all that. So when you think you're really hot, you're gonna think you deserve a certain caliber of guy. And here's where women get into trouble. If you think you're a 10, you're gonna demand a man who's a 10, whether that manifests itself in his looks, his status, his money, whatever it is, his charisma, his personality. The reality is most women are average. Most men are average. Average people ought to pair up with average people. The reality is though, and what I see in the dating marketplace, a lot of women who are average don't want average men. You're all chasing after the top caliber of dudes. These dudes might happily fuck you and sleep with you and string you along, keep you in a friends with benefits situation. You're not gonna get commitment from a lot of these dudes. So what ends up, let me just finish. So what ends up happening is that if you don't have an accurate self-assessment of where you land in the dating marketplace, you're gonna be chasing after a caliber of guy that will never give you commitment, but you're gonna get all caught up because that guy's gonna string you along and fuck you and never give you commitment. That's why all these girls end up in situationships, friends with benefits, 6 months, no commitment. And that's because those guys are happy to sleep with you because men and women value different things. Men will happily sleep with you, string you along. They will never give you commitment. They will never give you a ring. So maybe you're fine with that. A lot of women would prefer the divided attention of a really high status dude than the commitment and full of attention of a guy who's you view as below you, but who's actually on your level, who's your looks equivalent, who's your status equivalent. So if you're chasing, if all these women are, you mentioned hypergamy at the beginning of the show, if all these women are chasing after the top 10% of men, these top 10% of men are not going to commit, they're not going to settle for you. The thing is, right, women can sleep with average women. We get women on the show who are 19, 20 college girls, 1,000 followers on Instagram. They're fucking NFL players. They're fucking NBA players. Men who are at the top echelons of the dating market, who are the most attractive, who are wealthy, who have status, etc. How are you going to date? How are you going to be 19 years old and fuck with an NFL player who's making millions of dollars a year, who's in incredible shape, and then go back to date a 19-year-old college boy who's on your level, who will give you commitment? It's going to be really hard. The lifestyle differential there is going to be very difficult. The other thing is, so typically for a girl to sleep with a guy, that guy needs to be at least attractive enough for that girl to be in a relationship with that guy. For you to sleep with the guy, he has to at least be attractive enough for you to consider being in a relationship. But it's totally the reverse for men. Men will gladly sleep with women, and this is just based on their physical attractiveness alone. We'll sleep with the girl, but we would, just based on her physical attractiveness, we'll never be in a relationship with her. But we welcome sex. We welcome sex. So because of that, women can secure sex from men that are more attractive than them, whether that's looks, status, income, wealth, whatever. You think that that's your level. You think that that's your league. But the reality is, no, that guy was never going to get commitment from you. Your league is the guys who are prepared to commit to you, be in relationships with you, be monogamous with you, and give you a ring. It's not the dude who's willing to fuck you. So that's why it's very, very, very important for women to have an accurate self-assessment of their own physical attractiveness. Otherwise, y'all gonna be fucking dudes that are frankly, out of your league. And then you're gonna look at the guy who's actually on your league, who's actually in your league, who's on your level, who will give you commitment. You're gonna think you're settling for him, and maybe you eventually do, and then you're resentful of him the entire relationship, even though this guy is on your level. A lot of dudes, a lot of women look at men who are actually on their level and think, no, actually he's not at the same attractiveness level as me. And then they curve them. And then they wonder by the time they're 30, where are all the good men? You curve them in your 20s when you're fucking NFL players and NBA players and all this shit.
I just want to clarify that I don't go ahead and look for millionaires and billionaires, and I don't teach that to women. I teach them to attract providers. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Because to me,
that's fun.
To me, a millionaire, a NFB, whatever player, yeah, he can have money, but if he doesn't support you, he's the equivalent of a broke man. So unless a man, it's not supporting me and it's not committing to me, I don't care about that man.
But
in the sense that I would not take him seriously. Like, I'm not those type of women that be sleeping with millionaires just because he's a millionaire and then they go home and they're still broke. Like, that to me is stupid. I'm sorry. That to me, it's dumb. It's the equivalent of, dealing with a broke man. So I'm looking for commitment. I'm looking for stability and somebody that can support me. And that doesn't mean that it's not unattainable. And I think that you're saying, oh, women are only going for the 1%. No, we're not. We're going for provider men. We need that security and that stability.
That really doesn't add up, though.
And I hate men
you
making excuses for lazy men. Like, I don't.
Right, but you even mentioned at the beginning of the show, you mentioned hypergamy and that women should be hypergamous. I mean, you are basically you're basically advocating hypergamy is the tendency for women to date men who are of a higher, and that could be attractiveness level or a socioeconomic level. So
not necessarily millionaires.
But okay, sure. But the whole thing I'm trying to get at, and it could even be like you're a college girl and you're just like fucking the super hot college dudes, and then like the guys who are actually prepared to, you're gonna friend zone the guys. You girls want to know where the guys who are prepared to be loyal and who will commit to you. That's the biggest complaint of women. All these men, they're cheaters. They don't commit. That's because y'all are chasing after this like small percentage of hyper attractive, super attractive dudes. You know where the loyal guys are, where he'll give you commitment, who will be good boyfriends? They're probably in your friend zone because you curve the guys that are actually on your level because you all are chasing after the really hot fuck boys and shit.
I don't care.
And this is evidenced by, if you look at dating apps, if you look at dating apps, women are only swiping on like the top 10% of dudes. They're getting all the women, whereas the rest of the guys are getting nothing or the scraps.
But women are not the problem.
I was just going to say, that's why I think it's very important that women have a realistic self-assessment of their own physical attractiveness, because if you think you're a 10, you're going to be chasing that dude who you think is a 10.
I don't chase.
Okay, however you want to put it. You're going to be going after these guys who are like really attractive, that might be more attractive than you, that want to fuck you but will never give you commitment.
I don't value attractiveness in a man. That's not in my top priority when choosing a partner.
That's fine.
And with me, I agree with everything Brian is saying. And for me, it runs a little bit more personal than that because I am a certified relationship coach. So, and I have a huge clientele. So a lot of the women who come to me, these women come to me wondering why they aren't getting the dating outcomes that they want. And a lot of times it starts with them not being objective about their mate value, physical appearance, what they bring to the table, what they have to offer, who they are. And you have to remind them that these are the things that you woke up every day and told yourself in the mirror, daily affirmations. I'm a 10, I'm this, I'm going to manifest this, I'm going to attract the energy that I put out. All of that is bullshit. All of that is bullshit because you live in a world to where someone has to pick you too. It's just not about what you believe about yourself. It's about the way the world sees you as well. And if you have the expectations of as a woman, I want to attract this type of guy, I think I'm on the level of this type of guy, and the reality is you're not, you're really going to end up heartbroken. I'm telling you, like, I deal with these women who are heartbroken. They're disappointed. They wanted to be wives. They wanted to be married. They wanted to have kids, not out of wedlock. They're single mothers. All types of women. They're just disappointed. They're heartbroken. And if you would have started being objective and being able to take some constructive criticism and being able to say, well, you know what? You're right. It took this long for me to come to the realization that I'm not the shit that I thought I was, or I hyped myself up to be, thinking that I was doing something, body positivity, or doing something for myself that was going to manifest what I wanted. I realized it didn't work like that, and now I'm here. And that's what I have to explain to them once they get there. So you ladies are young, you don't understand it, you don't see it. But if you continue to hold a certain attitude about yourself that is not aligned with reality, reality is going to show you what the fuck is up. And when it does, it's going to punch you in the face. And you're going to be so much more heartbroken and wish that you had just been more realistic and maybe took advantage of some of the opportunities that were presented to you in terms of dating, in terms of relationships with guys who could have been good partners, but because you felt that you were above him when you really weren't, by whatever metric you choose to use, now you're single. You're stuck. You're single. And you can't get what you want because you spent all your years that you should have been investing in those guys who are on your level trying to get something better that you weren't really qualified for.